facing a battle against demons as a slayer, I wake up as a demon myself. Forgetting my identity, I seek to become the ultimate demon by leveling up with blood, as well as defeating dozens of demon slayers and demons. However, I begin getting glimpses of my past life until I eventually must make a decision. Will I continue being a powerful demon who can do whatever she wants? Or will I defeat Muzan in order to reverse time and go back to being whoever it was I once was? Keep watching to find out. If we can get 33 likes in this video, I will give all of you lots and lots of strawberries. I woke up on day 1 not remembering who I was or where I was, but are those horns? Am I a demon? I went down the stairs to find a chest with a bamboo sword, a couple of bento boxes, watermelon, and some kind of piece of clothing. Putting it on, it looked pretty cute. Upon trying to go out in the sun, I started taking damage. I ate some watermelon, and I tried again to find to my dismay that I cannot go out in the sun. After making an axe, I began collecting some of the wood on the framework of the house. I then noticed a crow outside. And I decided to try again going outside, and this time I didn't burn. I looked around a bit to see if there was anything around. I noticed a dude named Tomioka in the distance, as well as this green frog-looking dude. I also noticed some fighting happening, and upon going towards them, I began to be attacked. So these guys must be bad, right? After killing him, this crow picked up his body and flew off. While running around, the attacks from the demon slayers around me kept happening, and I repeatedly almost died. I was nowhere near strong enough to fight them. Back at the house, I noticed these strange tentacles, but they didn't attack me. I approached another slayer, Zenitsu, and he immediately started attacking me, getting me down to 2 hearts. I ran into the house and I hid upstairs for a bit. After I went down, I found him still there waiting for me, and this time he followed me into the house. However, the tentacle bros had my back and they killed him. I then tried fighting this demon, which was apparently a bad idea. I finally found a demon slayer body on the ground, so I snatched it up real quick. Okay, I must be super strong or something because I am literally carrying this guy with one hand. Then I ate him. Just girly things. I continued finding strange looking demons all around the area, but none of them attacked me, so I guess we're on the same side, but I still don't like them. I then almost died of the sunlight and quickly ran back to the house for safety. I was running out of food super quickly, so I noobishly discovered I couldn't use a blast furnace with wood, I guess, so I made a pickaxe and I began mining some cobblestone. I then upgraded my pickaxe and made a furnace to cook some food. Cozy! The Enmu tentacles were also still lurking. I grabbed the food, did some more mining, grabbed more food, and then I dug down to find iron. After digging even deeper, I found this strange red ore which turned out to be Muzan blood, which made me stronger and gave me more hearts. I then proceeded to mine. I continued collecting blood to become stronger. While mining, I jumped into a cave with approximately 300 mobs. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration. Hey! Thanks, Mr. Creeper. I then continued collecting more blood and powering up. I noticed in the distance some demon slayers kind of just chilling. I decided to approach them and I realized my fist did tons of damage. So I punched them all to death. I am a strong woman. Afterwards, I found lots and lots of diamonds. I was also now way faster than before. I killed this demon slayer who dropped a sword and I ended up having thunder breathing. Now, at this point, I had tons and tons of ores, so I finally began smelting all of them. I also noticed I had this suit in my inventory, which had lots of more armor bars, so I put that on. And I then crafted some matching pants. I kinda look like a nerd. I felt the potential to be stronger, so I collected a bit more blood, and I now had 2 rows of health. I kinda felt unstoppable. Upon running up, I realized it was daylight, which just wasn't gonna work. So I waited until night, and then I climbed up out of the hole. I found Rengoku, who I decided to try fighting, and at first he didn't care about me until he did. We began going at it and he used his flame tiger, which looked super cool. He also dashed at me, almost killing me in one shot. So I peaced out of there. I noticed Akaza in the distance, and after being rudely interrupted, I went towards him. But he didn't seem to enjoy my company whatsoever. He then got into a fight with Kano, in which he killed. I wanted to see how strong my fists truly were, and they were, strong. Sorry, little dude. I also came across these very deformed sheep before running into another Rengoku who was not happy to see me. He viciously attacked me, and I ran for a while before falling and getting stuck in a hole. But luckily, this creeper was nice enough to help push me out. A real homie. I ended up in this strange biome that had tons of demons and slayers. Also, did I just witness that dude becoming a literal train? So I decided to join the fight, which I nearly instantly regretted because Moichiro was there and yeah. I rejoined the fight after healing, but there was a lot happening, and I was kind of really confused. I tried using the blood demon art that I had gotten, but I honestly was struggling a lot on how to actually use its abilities, so I was just kind of punching and failing. I also dug a hole in the side of the mountain to hide away from the very bright and hot sun. That night, I decided to try again at Muichiro, which I don't really know why I thought this time would be better. And I also found like an entire group of Demon Slayer bodies on the ground, so yum. I was still struggling to use the Blood Demon art, which I feel like if they could laugh, all of these Slayers would have been laughing at me. I had this really cool claw, so I took some time trying to use it, failing again. Since I was completely lost, I decided to just kind of watch the fights happen and scoop up some food. I mean demon slayers. I mean food. Bodies. Okay, none of that sounds really good. Realizing I was way too weak, I went back to the caves to collect more blood in order to gain more hearts. After going back to the surface, I noticed this house in the distance and I decided to go check it out. The chest in the front was empty, so I went inside and there seemed to be some creepers currently occupying the home. I went into each of their rooms and I found a futon, which would mean that I could sleep during the day. I continued searching the house, but unfortunately there was just not anything there. However, there was this very strange closet of skulls. I also found a temple that was very empty. However, outside of the house was Shinazugawa. Please don't kill me if I'm butchering his name, okay? I'm sorry. And I was feeling a bit more confident, so I started a fight with him. The same night, while looking through my achievements, I noticed one skill named Breaking the Curse, and it said I would need to speak to Tamayo. After coming across this guy, he was super low, so I decided to try fighting him. He began drowning, and I last hit him getting a pistol. I also found this guy, but he gave me a wither effect, so I quickly ran off. Later, I approached Kuroji, who, by the way, has a super cool sword. I want it. I continued exploring, finding him, who threw me up into the air. I decided to use the pistol I'd gotten, which was kind of OP. I then found a little bit of a party, and I decided to join in, using my pistol like crazy until it broke. I also got a new blood demon art that allowed me to do air cracks and ground cracks. Now that I finally knew how to use a blood demon art, I started playing around with the ones I'd found earlier. I then tried fighting these two. I don't know how I ended up in this tree, but I want that fan. I jumped down and I snatched it up before running through the mountains to escape. Up there, I started messing around with it, and this guy didn't like that, and he began attacking me. I used my fan's different attacks on him, one of which were these very pretty blue flowers. Eventually, I was able to kill him. Afterwards, I found some floating fish and scarlet ore, which I'm not really sure what it's used for, but I collected it regardless. While fighting, I used one of the arts I didn't know about that made this happen. What the heck is going on? I hopped down, almost dying, and I ran off and dug down. Apparently, I was still a weakling compared to all the demon slayers and other demons. So back to mining it went for more blood. Back on the surface, I collected more sugarcane for sugar, but while looking for berries, Coach Cho came out of nowhere and she did not like me. Not even a little bit. Goodbye. At this point, I found myself in a strange, dark forest, and I realized this was Rui's home. I began attacking him, accidentally doing that. I was super excited for this fight, but it ended up being incredibly lame. I then killed his sister, as well as tons and tons of slayers. I killed another Rui, and I got his Blood Demon art, which is definitely my favorite. Every art style is super cool and fun to use. Later, I found some berries and I made sugar-covered berries. I was on a mission, but before I tell you what that mission is, here I am almost dying again for the 20th time in like 5 minutes. Okay, I really love the poison art style of this. After fighting, I found a fox and I made her love me. Then I swear it was an accident. Anyway, as I was saying, I needed to find some foxes, so I did just that. Finally, I wasn't alone anymore. Okay, I am so fast. A bit later, I found a village and I noticed Daki and I wanted those pink tentacles and I was not leaving until I got them. I began attacking with Rui's Blood Demon art and eventually spawned in this dude and she lost her head. Or he lost his head. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, don't hate me. I then began fighting him. His Blood Demon art was also super cool and it was able to poison me. We continued fighting for a good bit before he lost his head and died. However, Shinazugawa was not impressed and began attacking me for like the 20th time. This man just keeps coming back. I noticed the other guy's Blood Demon art laying on the ground, so I quickly picked it up so I could use it. His Blood Demon art was also super enjoyable to use, but I was also super close to being dead. Finally, with one last hit, I killed him. I then began searching for the pink tentacles, and I finally found them. I was looking very cool now. However, not much time passed before Uzui picked a fight with me. I was definitely stronger than before, and I was able to kill him pretty quickly. I noticed Tanjiro, but nah. I then stumbled into a little village and I began checking it out, house by house. In this house was Shinazugawa. Again, I really wanted whatever was in the chest. But okay, never mind, not worth it. I also found this huge house but could see tons of demon slayers inside. Still, it looked familiar for some reason. As daylight was coming soon again, I dug a little place in the mountain, I put down my futon, and I went to sleep. That night, I had a dream I was inside that house. There were other demon slayers. Were we friends? Anyway, after waking up, Muchiro didn't hesitate to begin attacking me. So I fought back. There was also this dude who kept attacking him. I finally then discovered my tentacles gave me a dashing ability, so I was sure to abuse that. found this guy that I cannot pronounce his name, and I really wanted his drums. But unfortunately, he didn't drop them. However, I did get this gun with a literal dynamite. And these wolf things, which I kind of got stuck in for a while. I also got into a fight with Tanjiro, but I thought about my dream, and I decided to run away instead. Daytime was soon, so I hid in a cave and I went to sleep. I remembered my foxes, so I went back to go get them. However, yeah. I decided to join this fight as well, but I learned that maybe it was not a good idea to have a pet in this world. I continued wandering around, finding a little hut with some flowers. I also found this weird black block, and after hitting it, a literal train appeared. And here I am pretending that I just discovered it. Whoa, so cool, a train. I then ran through the entire train, but it had nothing. I noticed Akaza fighting someone, and I decided to watch, curious of who was gonna win. I was kind of rooting for the Slayer, not gonna lie. I have a thing against Akaza for being mean to me and always pushing me around. I decided to try to fight him, but it just wasn't going so great as I got interrupted by Doma, who for some reason is freakishly strong. I continued running around being attacked by seemingly everyone. I decided to take my buddy and get out of there. Just kidding, they won't let me. Kanawa almost killed me, but I survived on 3 hearts. I decided to collect some food and cook it up, because these Slayer bodies just weren't doing the trick. I also decided I finally wanted a house, so I went and I collected tons of wood. I also collected some andesite. Afterwards, I found this house, but I realized it belonged to Slayers and I ran away. However, Kanawa didn't want to let me go, and she chased me into a graveyard where she continued fighting me. But I won. I decided to check out this house and I went through all the rooms. Other than the food, there wasn't really anything, and after going out back, I realized it probably was not a good idea to be here. I did, however, find this cute little house, which I decided to make home since there was no one living here. All the wood collecting for literally nothing. But it's okay. It even comes with a toilet. However, the house was kinda in a weird spot, so I decided to renovate the land a bit. The next day, I again went wandering around, pretty much fighting anything and everything. I was trying to get better at using my blood demon art, but to be honest, I kinda sucked no matter how much I tried. Later on, it became day again, and I still could not go out in the sun. Sad days. I traveled to a forest, and I fought some more to kill time. I then went back to Rui's mountain area, and I found apparently his house, which I decided to check out. Upstairs, there happened to be some kind of waystone with Muzan's castle listed. I teleported there, finding myself in some strange infinity dimension. I decided to look around, and I even happened to find this cool cloak thing. However, this guy decided to block the door, and I literally could not get out. I continued exploring the castle, finding some interesting discoveries. I also found tons of blood, which would help me increase my health even more. Eventually, I found this huge area which had Muzan himself, the Demon King. I didn't stick around for long though. After I found some more blood, I drank it, and then I traveled back home. I ended up coming across this house which had cherry blossom trees. Going inside, there was a chest with some potions and blood. I then saw a lady, and after talking to her, I realized she was Tamayo, the one who could reverse the curse. Hey, that rhymed. But did I want to reverse the curse? I couldn't remember exactly who I was before I woke up in that house. but the dreams I was having made me feel like I was someone better. Tamayo told me if I wanted to reverse the curse and return to my life, I would need to kill Muzan in order for her to brew the potion. Ultimately, I decided I wanted to be human again, and I went to the caves in order to find more blood to gain more health. Afterwards, I again teleported to the weird floating castle and I made my way into Muzan's throne room. I didn't even hesitate before attacking him. At first, he seemed uninterested, but after breaking his hat, he was not happy with me. Suddenly, he evolved into another version of himself, and he became much stronger than before. Finally, with one last hit, I defeated him. I picked up his hand, which was very strong, but also just not strong enough to kill this guy. I was determined to finally kill Doma now, and I had literally taken Muzan down, but it didn't happen. He's super scary and strong. I feel like he's gonna take over, you know what I mean? He's probably gonna be king now. Traveling back to Tamayo's, she gave me the potion I needed to become human again. I then woke up. Not in her house, and not in mine. Where was I? I was home, with my friends. Did any of that actually happen, or was it all just a dream? I wasn't sure, but what I did know was that I was back where I belonged.